Standard 8, the meaningful engagement of families and community. This is a point where I really enjoy looking at Standard 8. This in my daily practice. You really have to try to get parents to understand and the community understand that when it comes to the schools, it's not a us versus the school. You really want to engage and include and collaborate with all of your groups, because we talk about resources and asset mapping from your community, because you don't know the tools and the resources that can come in. You might have a church group to say we could do some after-school tutoring and provide tutors. You might have a Boys and Girls Club that says, hey, we want to siphon off some of your kids to come here and we can do a tutoring there where they can volunteer and get some service hours. There are a lot of different things that happen when you start opening your mind up to collaborating with, you know, the assets and resources that are at hand in your school community. Also, at the same time, you can bring parents in and do a parent university for enhanced communication. Sometimes navigating local systems such as where to register to vote since we're in an election year, or how to get a driver's license to open a bank account might be tough and difficult for some international parents. So how do we do those things and really giving those parents the skills to navigate, you know, our society that we may even take for granted. Advocating and helping inform legislation. A lot of times we talk about, you know, parents are the biggest advocate for their child. So when you take it to a more organized and bigger, you know, sphere of influence, parents could go to this local level, the state level, even the national level, and say, hey, we need this for our kids. Our children's future is this nation's future. So what can we do to really give them everything they need and all the tools they need to be successful? And it starts with advocacy at the local level and moving on up. We can also talk about how we form those partnerships, from preschool programs to the different types of charter schools you may have in your district to some in-house services. We have a lot of schools here that have Head Start and pre-K and early learning programs, you know, for employees to bring their kids to really not only help employees out with child care, but also teach kids and start pipelining some of our students into early education. So we start grooming the next generation of teachers for our students, you know, right here in our own schools, within our own walls. Also, being visible at events. You'd be surprised the traction you'll get with kids or parents if you just show up to a local football game, the Boys and Girls Club game, or the cheer competition, or the dance competition, or the Easter play, or the Sunday mass at a church or a mosque or a temple. Those things really matter to parents, and having that type of visibility gains you some equity and some, you know, a little bit of currency when it comes to, hey, we really need to talk about some things we can do moving forward to support your child.